So I got into racing because I basically had a bike, was riding around Central Park, met some nice people that it kind of just, we were going on a normal ride, but I didn't really just enjoy going like a slow, steady pace. I wanted to just like test myself all the time. And so, I found out there was this Cat 5 race. It was the Castelli series in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. It was 15 to 20 minutes from my apartment, right, starting at like 6 in the morning. It's easy to get to and so accessible. So I went there, I didn't do very well. I think I got 13th. I didn't even know to sprint to the finish because I thought there was another lap left. And my girlfriend was there watching and was laughing at me for how silly I was. So I just remember thinking, right, like this is 13th. Next week, if I come back, maybe I'll do better. And that has quite literally been my journey in cycling. Just sign up to something, try it, and don't even worry about failure. You can't win everything. So it's just a case of, okay, I've got first in this thing now. Okay, then I wanted to get to Cat 4, then I wanted to get to Cat 1, etc. And then you want to race in pro fields against people that do it for a full-time job as well. Then it's like, what more can you get? So that's just kind of how I am as a person. I like to challenge myself and not really be upset if I don't achieve something. It's just, I shouldn't achieve some things, and if you can do it, then it's nice and it's a nice reward for yourself,
Yeah, so we do have a coach, Carter Jones, a World Tour athlete. And so he presents us with the trainings, and it's typically 4 or 5 days that we have. We have a couple days we can do on our own, but we have 4 set trainings that we do as a team. So that's the structure, and he gives us numbers to reach, and we have goals that we try to achieve within those.
I would say I am definitely hyper-analytical with my training data. There's nothing I love more than after a training ride, just sitting there and just looking at the same data over and over again from my training peaks, and to the point where I have to text one of these guys to tell them about it. And then that's around the time that someone will be like, all right, calm down, this means nothing. And I'll be like, yeah, of course this means nothing, but isn't it cool?
It's everything. I generally subscribe to the 80-20 rule. 80% clean, 20% you gotta live life. The occasional slice of pizza, some fried chicken, some burgers. But generally speaking, yeah, super, super clean.
I think nutrition is as important as sleep, as is as important as training, right? So I wouldn't say that I'm like, following any like extreme diet or anything like that. We have to be happy and live a comfortable life. So I think happiness is actually just as important as everything else. So I'm not going to starve myself and try and be this watts per kilo. We're not racing the Tour de France at the end of the day. We're racing anywhere from 1 to 4 hour races on a 1 day at a time, or maybe a 4 or 5 day stage race. I eat whole foods. I do definitely not eat that many crappy non-processed processed foods. But at the same time, if I'm feeling like I need to have a pizza or something like that just to be happy once in a while, then sure. I'm not going to be that extreme. I'm not vegetarian or vegan or anything like that, but I do try to eat the cleanest possible foods, cook at home and stuff like that.
Nutrition is obviously massive for cycling. When you're going out riding, 4 to 5 hours in training, you're burning up to 5,000 calories, and obviously in a hard race, it's something similar. So if you're not eating correctly before and after, you're really not giving yourself a good advantage. So for me, my go-to is porridge, or as the oatmeal as they say out here. I always have a good bowl of oatmeal in the morning, try and mix up with some fruit and that, and a coffee, and then after a ride, I always go to, for my recovery, now that we're sponsored by Floyd's, I'll have my Floyd's recovery protein powder, which I find is actually brilliant because not only is it kind of providing the protein that helps you recover with your muscles, it also just helps you relax and kind of keeps you focused as well. So obviously before a long ride as well, the night before, I'd always make sure I eat plenty of carbohydrates as well. Obviously just to keep the body going and keep the energy up for the day as well.
So I feel like definitely it's my first season with the team, and really just want to have a solid impact on them and really help them reach the level that they're striving to. So for myself, it's really just to make sure that I'm there and complementing the efforts and keeping all the efforts really constructive. On the USA Crit side, really just being there and being a force within the field. And within the local races, I think that's a good spot, especially the Central Park and Prospect Park series, to really work on some solo efforts.
This year, I don't have too many personal ambitions. I want to work for the team. Anything that the team needs. I really want to be a domestique this year. I'll have my shots in the local races for sure. But yeah, personal ambitions, not really much. I just want to see the team really lift it up.
So this year, it's really all about the team. I want to make sure that we sort of achieve the best results that we can. There will be some races where I think as a sprinter, I can be valuable. So those will be the ones where I'll try to get some solo efforts in. But it's really just all about the team. Being in D1 this season for USA Crits is extremely important. We're all really excited. Going to go out there and test ourselves against some of the best racers in the country. So yeah, definitely pumped for that and looking to get some results.
So we have a busy calendar this year. Obviously, we've got the USA Crits as a D1 team, so we're going to take that seriously and learn from the best racers in the country. We've definitely got a lot of learning to do there, and we'd be excited to get some results there if we can. But more than anything, seeing the country through doing this awesome series, we feel like that's a good way to give back to cycling by putting ourselves out there. It's all televised and it has great promotion, and we want to kind of use that partnership to our advantage as well. I'm also in the Antigua and Barbuda national team, so there'll be a number of international road races and stage races I'll attend with the team across the Caribbean and the Americas. And then also locally, we think it's very important to turn up and race. So any local race that we can be at, if we have the availability, we'll turn up. CRCA Central Park races and open races, the various series in Prospect Park and local criteriums. We are a New York City team, and we're proud of that. And so wherever possible, we'll race on the local scene and be with our buddies that are in other teams as well.
In terms of training, it's kind of a mixture between intervals and longer base miles. So for me, on a normal week, I will train during the week when I have less time with work. I will do kind of harder, shorter efforts. So 1 to 2 hour rides before work, and then the weekend I'm trying to stretch it out and ride longer rides. Just basically because if we're racing 60 to 80 miles, we need to be riding over 100 in training at a lower level to be able to last those longer distances, really, just to build it in your legs. So that's kind of the key focus right now, is just to kind of get some longer base miles in. Obviously we're going on a training camp to LA in a few weeks, so it'll be a great opportunity just to kind of get those longer miles in the legs, just get the body more accustomed to that kind of effort as well.
Without a doubt, especially when the colder winter days and getting up early, the other guys are there and putting the efforts together. I think by all means it makes all the difference. Is it easier to kind of like do your own thing and just hit the exact numbers you're trying to hit by yourself? Sure, but at the end of the day, whenever I'm with the group together, I come back and I feel way more exhausted, way more satisfied, and really feel like I've built something more than just going by yourself. And we don't race by ourselves either, so.
I come from a team-based background. I played soccer all the way up through college. It's the best. I thrive and really enjoy a team dynamic. It helps me push further, to surround myself with people trying to push themselves further. And the Good Guys has been an absolute amazing forum and tool for me to be able to do that.
Oh, the good guys. Okay, so we have to be one of the most diverse teams. We represent 5 continents. Not only that, we're all really good friends. So being able to talk to your friends about, you know, how crazy that workout was, or how tough it was going to be, or that race, and all the different things that happened, the dynamic is a really good thing. We also really try to support other riders because we were all Cat 5s at some point. So I think we're really good within the community and just making sure that people feel happy. Always saying hi to people in the rides when we're at Strictly, just, you know, talking with people. They have a ton of questions. We're always open, you know, to let them in our lives. So I feel like we are very approachable, and I think that shows.
So there's only one thing that makes the good guys amazing, and it's Mike Tan. Mike Tan is the greatest man on the planet. He is our messiah of the good guys. It's in all seriousness, it's these guys are my friends, and everything is easier when you enjoy it, and you enjoy things with your friends. So even if we're suffering is better in company. And ultimately, that's what makes the good guys so great, is we've created a community within the community of cycling on a smaller scale that really helps me and them grow, and us reach other people and show that we can do that together.